So local online marketing tools. So let's begin and talk about mobile. As you guys may have known, and we talked about it, I definitely do want to do a class, because I think one of the aspects that maybe we've kind of hit on multiple times is how do you manage all your tools throughout the day from your mobile device. So maybe you've got an iPad, an iPhone, or an Android. Now there's a new Android, and the Eclipse something, and it's like that big, and it's more of definitely a purse model. I don't know where a guy would put that. It's really big. It's in between a tablet and a phone.
The Galaxy Note,
yeah,
5-incher.
Yeah, so it's like that big. Cool. And again, if you have to actively manage stuff, it is a great way to go. There are a lot of powerful things you can do with mobile devices, but more importantly to you is you want to get found on a mobile device for your company. So the key for you to understand is desktop search is different from mobile search, because if I'm searching on a mobile, I'm out and about and I'm ready to buy. 50% of mobile search leads to a purchase. So
50%?
So scale that to, I'm going to buy. I'm buying. I'm looking for your store to come buy I'm out to buy something. I'm going to buy. So even though the usage rates are less on a mobile device for our market, that 20-some% of people using mobile for search in Tucson are people who are ready to buy. So you're going to close more business off of mobile search. Does that make?
Yeah.
You're going to close more mobile search if they find you than if they find you on the desktop, because they're further along in the process. So 1 in 5 Americans access the mobile web every day. This next year, it will bypass desktop use in the U.S. It already has in multiple other countries. Globally, it already has. It's well over 55 to 60% mobile to desktop use now. Mobile advertising spending will surpass $6.5 billion in 2012, and websites you got to have something going to optimize your website. If you are using, for instance, a WordPress site, there is a plug-in for mobile optimization. There are actually multiple, to where you can go in and choose how it delivers to each kind of device. Obviously, it's a vast array, because new devices are coming out every day. Razer, which I have now, they release a phone a month. I mean, so it's ridiculous, but you've got to be optimized, because people are looking at that device. And so what do you want them to do? Even more importantly, your call to action on a mobile device, because it needs to be big, and they're in the parking lot. Call me, map, whatever it is that you want them to do to be able to purchase from you, whether it's walk in the door or buy online from you.
Let me ask you a question.
Mm-hmm.
If you have your website optimized, does that mean that somebody has to go in every week and add what has come out that week?
No, because in most cases, for instance, if you add the app developers are doing that part of the work for you. Where it would change is when there's a big rollout. So, for instance, when we went from to the iPhone 5, pretty big rollout because of different screen size. Everything was laid out for the smaller screen. I still get stuff delivered to this on a regular basis that's undersized, that hasn't been rescaled. I don't leave the site because if it's something that I want, but again, it needs to be optimized for the device. When the iPad initially came out, that was a huge change. Everybody had to readapt their mobile optimized websites. So another thing to know about local search, Google has a separate index for mobile content. So optimizing for the desktop is different than optimizing for local. And if we have enough time today, I'll show you the difference when you're searching on Google on the delivery of local versus non-local content. Citations, actually I even talked about this yesterday. So citations are one of the things that Google uses to rank how high they're going to list you on the mobile device. And a citation is simply your company name, the phone number, and the address. That's your citation. So one of the ways you can optimize SEO for local is to have those three things listed on as many places as possible. So we'll get to some sites here soon, and there's some pretty cool large-scale sites that you can get massive listings on for a minimal cost. Make sure you own and have access to all of your major listings. I'm going to show you a list here in a moment. Don't sign your life away to Yext or somebody else that's going to manage your Google Places or your online platforms, but they won't give you access to it. Demand that you have access or don't do business with them. Because I don't want to have to go through a second or third party to change the phone number, or we moved across the street. I can't wait 6 months for that to get updated. I need it done now because I need somebody to map to my new location. So you guys need that for your business, so try to find a company that will allow you access. I'll show you one towards the end of today to where you can manage hundreds of sites from one place, and you can make those updates and those changes, and they'll change it everywhere from a single place for nominal fee depending on your business. So where to begin? Don't even go anywhere else until you have fully taken care of Google Plus Local, because it is local search. The little map bubbles that come up when you search on a mobile device, that's Google Plus Local. If you don't have that correct and optimized, you're missing the largest part of local search. Google Plus Local, you need to have it optimized and have it working well for you. Again, those citations, what's in there is mirrored in 20, 30, 50, 100 other sites. It's going to boost the searchability, and that's why on maps you find many times you go to Google Maps and why am I never coming up there? You don't have enough citations and other things that confirm you are who you are, and you are great at what you do. So the other piece of that is reviews, and we're not going to spend a ton of time there. Yes.
So I signed up for Google Places, and I got my postcard or whatever little card last week to validate that, put in the thing. So that should come up then, right? Is there more I need to do to optimize that?
Did you actually log in and do it in Google Places?
Yes.
Okay, so now you need to go through Google Plus.
Oh.
And but you've done it in the right order. You want to add Google Places first, and then come back and add your Google Plus, and basically it's going to migrate the two together when you do that. I'm going to try to see if we can. Does anybody not have one? I didn't have anybody that didn't have one. Somebody said online. We do, and our postcard is on its way. There's a second postcard process that you'll do for Google Plus, and I'll show you that momentarily on a site. Yelp, Facebook, LinkedIn, some of the ones we talk about all the time, right? Still great listings for mobile. Yellow Pages, City Search, Yahoo Local, Bing Local, Insider Pages, Super Pages, Merchant Circle, Best of the Web, and Manta. Those are all the big hitters. Now you can be listed elsewhere, but those are the ones that typically can boost your search up into the first and second page of Google listings. Again, the more that Google sees that you have in agreement, oh, well here's another one, here's another one, here's another one, here's another one. They're giving you a citation for those, and again, boosting your local search.
Are all of these websites you go to
yes,
put
you
your
can
citations
claim,
and stuff in?
you can claim, and
Okay.
About half of them will try to sell you upgrades.
Oh, yeah.
I don't suggest that you pay for any of them.
Okay.
If you do, your yellow book, yellow pages can definitely give you some SEO boost if you want to go that route. You'll pay for it, but it works. I would not pay Merchant Circle or Manta. And Yext, they're way overpriced. Way overpriced.
Merchant
for
Circle
Yext.
is hooked in with Yext.
Yeah. So
What?
so you can
Merchant
utilize
Circle
them.
is hooked in with
Yeah.
Yext.
You can utilize them. Companies merged. Utilize them, but I use their free listing. I don't suggest to pay for them because you can do what they're going to do for you at a lot less cost. And I'll show you that in a moment. Let's switch over to the web momentarily. Let's see here. And we'll go to Google Plus. And so this is my profile listing. This is just me. But I'm going to go to Pages. And I'm going to go to our online business marks page. So what you would do is go to your profile, David, and then you would begin to create the page tell me again, it's,
Best Carrot Home.
I keep wanting to say PCOA for all. I got that so drilled in my brain.
That's all right.
Best Carrot Home. So you would go to Pages. So if I went here and clicked on Pages initially, it also gives you the link right here to create a new page. And so I'm actually going to begin to walk through that process for you. And I'm going to say it's a local business in place. Again,
Okay.
always the right choice for most of us. And then what it asks for is your phone number. So what's the phone number for that place?
520-243-8071.
Okay, so and then I'm going to hit locate. And if you notice, it comes up and it says, is this the one you mean? And if that's the Google place that you've created,
Yeah.
then you say yes. You choose that, take the next step, and you've just merged the two.
Perfect.
And your Google Plus just merged with your Google Places to be Google Plus Local. Okay?
Excellent.
So you've done that, and then it's going to bring all the information into the site as well.
Okay.
You may want to add some more,
Right.
but I'm going to go ahead and cancel out. The other thing is somebody can do this for you, and you can add admin to that, just like you do on Facebook. Yes, sir.
When I do that, it comes right to my page. It says Manage Your Pages. Does that mean
You're already
did it?
done. You've
Okay.
already done it.
Okay.
So I'm going to back up here and go back to our page.
Great.
And as you can see, you can manage multiple pages. And you can add multiple managers like you do with Facebook. So you have administrators, and you can, if the company changes hands or you need to give it to a new manager, once it's been set up for 2 weeks, or you've been the manager for 2 weeks, then you could turn it over to Steve as the owner. There's a 2-week window there that you have to go through. To get an idea whether your plus is linked to your local, if it doesn't have that map, then it's not. This is telling you basically the two are one. And the other piece is it will tell you right up top here. If you notice, it says right here, we're in progress. So so it says, hey, I've sent a pin to this address. It's on its way. It'll be a little card. You open it up. It's in the card. There may already be one there, but
Probably is. I haven't been to the post office
Yep.
office lately.
So you grab that, and this is, as it says, it's visible only to owners and managers. Nobody else would see that but you. And then once you get that postcard, you're going to come right down here and enter that PIN. And then you are confirmed. I mean, confirmed. The second time confirmed, because you did it on Google Places. Eventually, that's going to be migrated to where it's
one.
Yeah, and it's all one thing, but that's in progress, and nobody knows what the timeline is, and it's very crazy and sometimes your stuff will drop off and it doesn't exist. Yes.
Is Google Places similar to Foursquare?
No.
No, it's not going to necessarily mark when you go someplace. It's not.
Yes.
What?
Yes.
Yes.
Really?
It does have location and check-in.
And
So
can you block that?
from my mobile device. What do you mean?
Well, I
Do
have
I-
a thing about, everybody knowing everywhere I check in and do whatever. And one,
You have to opt in.
okay.
Yeah, you have. You're
Opt
not
in.
checking in until you choose to check in.
All right.
So there are a couple of other apps that Google has that will auto check you in. So you could just turn it on your phone, and if you walk in and it's a Google place, it'll check you into that place automatically. Might not be optimal, depending on your lifestyle, for where you go and what you do, and so you would need to choose wisely.
Right.
Yeah. But yes, people can check in, but
Maybe that's the reason
you
why
do
you
want
want
people
to.
to
Maybe.
check into your location, though. That would be important. A few dynamics of the. So what this has done, and eventually, I think this could be a game changer, because by combining the two, now when you pull this up on a desktop, this is what it looks like versus the old Google Places. And I can create content, and people can check in and review us as a company. So it's combined several different pieces to where eventually it may be the deal for businesses, because it's very business friendly. If people follow your company, they are going to see your content. So unlike Facebook, the crapshoot,
Right.
they are going to see your stuff if you subscribe. And it's in the order it comes out. I mean, there's a lot of different things that could eventually be very business friendly. Right now, not huge on a social platform because it's just early adopters, techies, artists, people that have hobby passionates. You think in terms of Google Plus as passion. What are you passionate about? That's how people connect on Google Plus. I'm into surfing. I'm not really. I like it. It's cool, but I'm not into it avidly. But you could connect with other people who are really into surfing. I think it's very business friendly. Eventually, again, I think it will be the deal. Posting, just like anything else, you can add photos, you can upload videos, you can create events, and you can drop links. So creating content from your location place, you want to keep that fairly vibrant, because now when people map to you, here, I'm going to land here, and I can read what you're saying to me as a company. Hey, got a deal for you, 25% off all whatever. Come check it out. There are other pieces of that. You can do online advertising to specifically map locations. That is still available through Google Places, to where you're doing Google Places advertising. I have found that to, in some cases, be really effective for some companies. Again, are you a destination company or not is the determining factor. If you're a destination company, that could be a very viable advertising tool for you, because for $50 a month in that advertising, you can get a lot of links coming right here, and it's got everything there. Your URL, your phone number, everything that somebody needs to connect with you. Reviews. We need reviews.
Oh.
About the company. Okay, you've got, our link to YouTube. You can jump over to our YouTube channel. Photos. There is great value in this as well if you link it to your website. So if you use their tool to link it to your website, let me show you where that's at. Right here. So send a request. You can link your website. We're already linked, but you can link your website directly. or you can link it in Webmaster Tools. And here they'll give you a snippet of code and tell you where to insert it into your website. Take this, and in many cases you're sending it to your webmaster and say, hey, insert this where they say to insert this. And then your account is linked, and there's definitely SEO value in it. If you're creating blogs at that point, your blogs will show up in many cases with your face attached to the content post. Gary, if you guys were here when Gary Wagnon presented, he showed you some content, had his face on it, on a nice Google search for topics that he had created the day before.
Dale, you guys are virtual. What address do you use for Google Places?
We use the UPS store where I've got a post office box.
Okay.
But we also use this address, and we're going to start using Oracle. But for mailing, it's definitely the main one is the one on Campbell,
So you
which
can
is the
have
UPS
multiple.
store. You can have multiple locations.
Yeah, if you have multiple locations, you need multiple listings.
Yeah.
Because each and every one of them is searchable, and you can add them as such. We'll get to that eventually, but you want your core one, and if you're a home business, UPS store or Pack and Ship, there's multiple others, and they give you, as ours is, an address that it has a number at the end, but it doesn't say P.O. box or anything like that. It's a physical address
Looks
that
like
you
a
can
suite
use.
number. I have
Yes.
one up in Swan.
Exactly. That's the best way to do that, so you can have the listing. And again, you can put your content in, so photos, videos, you can upload all of that content. So again, when we talked about video a while back, you've created that video, you've uploaded it to YouTube, you uploaded it to Facebook, you can upload it to Google+. So again, more exposure to your content that you're creating. Any other questions on Google Plus Local?
I just wanted to add that when we started doing the Google Plus events, that we got a whole different audience responding, and I noticed, I don't think we did one this week.
You didn't.
Yeah. I
Mix
forgot
it
to
up.
do it, but
we did LinkedIn this week.
there's a whole different exposure, which it's kind of interesting. Whereas on LinkedIn, I haven't gotten much response from doing that, so we don't emphasize that, though we still put the event up there. The main one is the Facebook event, and I need to remember to do the Google Plus.
Yeah. The great thing and the annoying thing about Google Plus events is that if you have a Google Calendar, if somebody invites you to the event, it'll put it on your calendar.
Okay.
Whether you're going or not, it'll put it on your calendar.
I thought it was only if you said you were going.
No,
No?
even if
okay.
you're undecided,
Well, that's irritating.
yeah, you can remove it. But again, for some folks, the annoyance of having to take that step.
Yeah.
Not-
So
I would prefer the option to say only if they choose yes,
Yes,
but that's
yes.
not currently the case.
that's going to change.
I
then.
think it will change because it is a detractor, I think, at this point. Because otherwise, I love the idea that I say yes and it's scheduled it for me. I love that. I mean, that's brilliant. But I don't want it to be there if I say no. And again, it's not saying you're going. If you click on it, it says you're not going, but it's still on your calendar.
Plus, you get an email the day before the event
Yes.
reminding you about it,
Yes.
which I actually kind of like.
I love
but
it. I think it's brilliant because it's a great reminder.
Except
Oh
for
yeah,
that one.
and if you're planning a party or an event, everybody that opted in is going to get that reminder. Wow, that Pam, she's awesome. She's sending out a reminder saying
I'll tell you, with all the networking events that are around, that would be very nice.
Yes,
to
It
get
is.
that
yes.
reminder.
It is very handy. Okay, so no more. Again, you can hang out. I mean, there's a lot of tools. That's a video conference kind of thing.
Oh, is
A
that what that is?
lot of tools that you can do. Hangouts are, I think, brilliant because I can schedule a meeting with David, and David can say, hey, my schedule just got jammed up. And I can say, well, let's change it to a virtual meeting. I can add a hangout to the invitation and to the calendar event, and when the time comes, click we're in a live conferencing event and we can go ahead and get our meeting done, and it's one click to make that happen.
And how many people can be in the?
10.
10.
Unless you click the option to broadcast it to YouTube, and then it can be millions. You can broadcast that meeting to YouTube. So if you're going to do webinar kind of things,
It's pretty cool.
super cool, because you can do a live audience mixed with an online audience of as big as you want it to be.
Wow.
And again, it's free. Free. How cool is that?
Price.
Yep. One of the things that I found that it's also useful is that when you do stream one to Pam for your classes, the downside I'm trying to figure out yet is it snips it up, but it also loads it to your YouTube channel, and it's there to use for an archive. So if you teach a class, or you do something like that, or you're teaching somebody a how-to,
edit it and do just parts of it.
yeah. I got to play with it a little bit more. I've only tried it twice, but it did broadcast. I think it clipped it down at the 15-minute mark. And, you know, your video limit
Oh,
size,
that's right.
it clipped it down at 15 minutes. But still, a very cool tool.
And this is all available only if it's Google Plus Local.
Google Plus and Google Plus Local. And again, it's kind of a fuzzy merger at this point, but they are merging Places and Plus. So if you had a business listing on Google Plus, that'll migrate together eventually. I walked you through the best way I know to do it right now. If it changes, I'll let you know. But right now, as of today, that is the way to walk through and merge your Places and Plus and get this great listing. Again, it's going to come up here if you've done the other part of listing and citation. So let's jump back to other parts. That's the most important part. Don't forget that. I would say Yelp would be next in importance, and they're not exactly in the list of importance, because I think your Yellow Pages and City Search, some of those will actually show up first, and you're going to get boost on desktop search as well as mobile search by claiming all these listings for your company. In most cases, it's something an administrator can do if they have your information. It's not something necessarily you have to do, have them plug through. So for some companies, I've just given them a list. Here's the information. I want you to go to these 10 sites and create an account for us. But I have access to them, I have login to them so that we can utilize them. Okay, so let's talk some resources, and we'll cover a few of these. Let's see. Matt Copley covered in his presentation this. There we go. This is from Google, and so if you have no other way,
Can you change it to white?
they're linked, so it won't allow
Okay,
me to
it
change
won't
them.
change
I'm going to
it.
actually go to the site. It's
Okay.
actually launching as we speak.
Okay.
So this is Ready to Go Mo. Ready to Go Mo. So this is from Google, and you can get a free mobile site for the time being. Okay, go away. Oh, I want to clean some of that up. Create your mobile site now, and you can actually buy mobile advertising here. So this is, I think they give you a year of a free mobile site. So basically you walk through the process, you put your URL in, and you have some choices and what it's going to look like and what it's going to do. Are you going to have them call you? Are you going to have them go to your website? Are you going to have them do something else? You choose those things, and it's a mobile ready site that'll land here and look really good.
Would you recommend going through them versus an independent? Like, for instance, how would that come up? Would their site also come up on iPhones and stuff?
Yes.
It would.
Yes.
So they're
It's optimized for all devices.
All of them.
Yes. So, and what's the possibilities that since it's a Google product, it's going to be more searchable. Probably isn't going to hurt your website SEO either.
Right.
No data to prove that, but you make
Right.
assumptions. You can also buy mobile advertising. If you find that your customers, you're getting a lot of traffic through mobile, you may want to buy specific mobile click ads. So it's pay-per-click. If they don't click, you don't pay. But anybody that clicks on a click ad is a qualified customer. They have what you said you have. They're thinking about it and they want to buy it. If they click it on here, they for sure are thinking about buying it because again, the number jumps more than double on a mobile device on what it is for a desktop. And you can't say it's exactly on a desktop because it depends on your product, on the click to buy ratio. If they land on your page, you may be at 10% on a desktop, but still up to around 50% click to buy because they're ready to buy. They're making a decision at this point. They're past research. Research was done over here. Now it's who has that product in town or in my neighborhood. Okay, let's jump back over to our presentation. I have enough pages open. We'll really get lost here momentarily. I wanted to go through this one because it had a little bit. I wanted to show you this page. It has a little bit of, it's a good blog post on mobile. And again, it agrees, number one, Google Places, where to get, and it gives you links. So when we publish this slideshow, you've got links to all of these. Facebook fan page, and then the two links down at the bottom are the most important two. And I'll jump over and we'll talk about those. Localease.com is a site where you can go in and claim a free listing. So no matter what, put that on your to-do list. Go claim the free listing for your company. But they have a pay service that for $300 a year, they will list you on a couple of hundred local search traffic sites. And you have the ability to edit that in real time all the time. So,
Which sites?
I don't have a list of them, but it's most of them that are on the local list. So that's your Yelp, your Yellow Page, etc. It lists you on all of those. It also lists on anything that does GPS. So your GPS listing searches. So say it's a Garmin that's built into a car, you would come up in their list of places when they search for you. And then the one that's down at the very bottom, honorable mention, I actually like it best of all. So for $75, ubl.org, you can list yourself and it'll actually list you in several hundred.
Really?
Search listings. They charge $75 a year, but it is
That's a good deal.
vast listing. So remember what I said about citations. If your phone number and your company name and address are out there, well, how many citations did that just give me? That's a bunch. That's a bunch of citations. You are going to show up. You're going to show up in mobile search especially with that many listings. Don't tell any of the SEO guys that gave you that.
What was this site again? 2 October.
This was just a blog that I found. And again, the link, Steve, is in the presentation, so we'll post that online. But ubl.com, and it's the Universal Business Listing is what the UBL is short for. And, man, I finished.
Hey, I
5
have a
minutes
question
earlier.
for Steve. While that's up, hey Steve, take a look at all those toolbars that have popped up on my computer.
I know that drives me
Look,
nuts.
I have 2 love messages.
Right click at the top.
This is new, guys.
Now further up, all the way up. There you go. There's all your toolbars. If you click them off.
Yeah,
Where do you
I've
click
already
on it?
taken them off though, and then they just keep popping up.
Well, you have to go and uninstall them.
Yeah, you do.
Okay, I'll do that.
There is a good.
That's because when you're downloading stuff, you're not looking at the
That
little
was
check
our
mark that
Galactica.
says
We know
also
what you're doing.
install.
You're trying-
Oh, yeah.
Like Java is the worst. It always
Okay.
wants to put in
All right.
Yes.
the Ask toolbar.
Yes,
I
yeah.
hate that. thing.
Okay.
do too.
But you click them off temporarily.
So I don't need to send my computer home with you?
No.
Okay.
You can also go to.
I'll fix it for only $100.
I'll take a look at it after the class. I'll get them out of there.
Okay, so here's the localese and the UBL.
Okay.
We're going to jump early today because that didn't take. I thought you guys would have way more questions on Google Plus Local. Let's talk, Dale, about the assignment as
Okay.
well as
Sounds good.
something new, and we're going to try to do this every week. We are going to let you go through. So take a piece of paper out.
I've got
Paper,
scrap
what's
paper.
that?
You want to use scrap
Paper.
paper? Open a blank Word document.
I mean, Evernote.
Okay, everybody gets a piece of the scrap paper. And only right on the top half, because the bottom half you're going to be turning back to us.
I grabbed one already.
Oh, okay.
And we'll publish this slideshow so you have those links, especially
Yeah.
those last two links, UBL and localese. Take a hard look at those.
Okay.
Basically, in many cases, the listing companies that are charging you a lot of money to SEO your company are just paying these guys to do what you can do yourself. Not everybody, but in many cases, they're running quick ad, and that Matt said that people will do SEO for you, and they're just running quick ad campaigns, driving in traffic. You can do that yourself if you have the time, but this listing stuff is super easy. Just go do it and get your listing out there, and again, you'll show up higher in mobile.
I'll post those slides this afternoon. Okay, we have an idea. We started this yesterday. It worked out really well yesterday with that group. And that is that we noticed over time, we've been going on for over a year and a half now, that the people that really seemed to progress with their social media skills were the ones that right away did certain things. They had a takeaway from what we talked about, and they implemented right away. So we'd like to encourage everybody to do that. And so this is our way of trying to accomplish that. And that is if you would write down one or more, at least one, but it can be as many as you think you can get done, one or more specific tasks that you commit to do in the next week. Write that down. We'll give you a couple of minutes. The second thing is look at those tasks and are there additional resources that you need to get the tasks done? I'll give you an example of that. I know that we talked about YouTube 2 weeks ago, and one of the members left and intended to do a YouTube video for her business. But I think the reason she didn't do it is she really didn't have the tools. She didn't have the camera.
Right.
There were all these things. So you need to think about what tools you need to get something specific done. And so she still hasn't done it. But so we're going to give you, 5 minutes?
Mhm.
We'll give you 5 minutes to be thinking about that. And then you're going to be reading those out loud to us, and we're going to follow up next week with you. So
Is it a social media goal?
it's social media or email marketing. It's whatever we've talked about this week, and it could even, you can even go back to last week.
And it can't be your goal is to come to next week.
Yeah.
That could be a goal.
That's fair.
Both.
Okay.
Seems like there's something magical about this meeting that I get 800 messages.
Is everybody done? Is there anybody that's still working on it? Okay, let's, why don't we start with David and read us yours?
I have two.
Okay.
First, I'm going to follow up on linking Google Plus with places to make sure that's set. And then I'm going to go ahead and list down as many of the sites as I can get done that you've outlined for us today. So I think that's a major task. My other major task is to prepare for the November 8th session. Did you get your email on that from me?
I have not read it yet, but
Okay.
I have eyeballed it.
Okay.
I got something, yes.
So I've got a lot of prep to do for that. So
Okay.
that's what I'll
Okay.
be working on.
So are there any resources or help that you need in getting those tasks accomplished?
Time, which you
Time?
can't give me.
No.
I don't think so.
Do you have a Google Plus account
I do.
personally? Do you have
Yeah, I do.
David up the
Yeah.
Okay, so that's where the portal that you'll go through to create a page. And I did think of one other thing that might be confusing on this, in that let me see, where did I have? Okay,
Is it your slideshow?
when you land here, these are, you can grab these and drag them. So when you get to your Google Plus profile, Pages is actually underneath More.
Oh,
So you won't see it. I moved mine. So you can click on it, hold it with your mouse, and drag it and relocate all of these. But yeah, you
And
won't see it
Pages is the
right there.
business.
Yes. So it's just like Facebook. Profile is you, page is business.
got it.
Okay.
All right. Sorry.
How about Tina?
I need to create, I do have a Google Plus, but I don't have a business page. So my goal is to do the LinkedIn business page and the Google Plus business page.
At the same time, okay. Any resources or help that you're going to need with those?
Good question.
Well, we told the group yesterday, so I hope we don't get inundated, but if you have a question, a specific question, email us, either one of us, and ask, and we'll get back to you within
Yep.
a few hours, I'm sure.
I don't think I could do a place because I'm an online, so I don't think I could do.
You can.
Mm.
I mean,
She could,
if
but
you do a
do you
PO
really need
box.
to?
If I, right, and I don't have I haven't invested in a PO box at this point.
I think if you get your business page set up, that will be a big step.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah. Pam,
Get pins for Google Pages, verify and get postcards. Okay. And put cover images and profile images on pages, and set a Google Plus event for getting started class.
Okay.
okay. Gonna go into competition with us? No.
What?
Okay, no, I was kidding. So you're gonna do an event for your constant contact class?
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you need any additional resources?
What noise you meant by
Okay, I'll tell you later.
Do you need any resources?
I don't know.
Online
It's not
tools,
this time,
links.
like David.
Yeah. If you find it, again, make sure to reach out so that we provide that information for everybody if we missed something for sure.
Mhm. Okay, great.
Well,
Carolyn?
all I could come up with, Karen sends out 2013 calendars, and I need to order the envelopes. That was all I could come up with.
Well, you're not helping her with her social media now, are you? Okay, because she does need a lot of help with it.
Yeah, because
Is there
the
somebody
last time
else?
she posted on her Facebook page was 12 months ago.
Mm-hmm. Well,
Lots
no,
of help.
she posts, on her page, the business page
The
for the
business
no
page,
holos, but
yeah,
she's
'cause I
been
didn't find the
posting a lot
address. Yeah.
on her profile. Okay. Steve?
Next week, first of all, I'm gonna check out that UBL. I did manually put myself in a lot of places. I want to just double check, see if that's worth it. I'm gonna re-verify, because I haven't visited in quite a while, Yahoo Local and Bing Local, make sure those are verified fully. Do one blog post, and prepare my email newsletter to my customer list.
Great, okay.
Playing with
That's quite a lot.
It's a lot.
Okay.
Well, it's not, a lot of these will take 5 minutes,
Okay.
but the blog post and maybe the
Okay.
newsletter will take the most.
Okay. All right.
I mean, amongst the boxes of moving, what am I gonna do?
Oh, yeah, well, yeah, Barb is moving.
Okay,
this
so
week,
here's what I am
we'll
gonna do
cut you a little
though.
slack.
This is very good, because this really, I know I'll be held to account. So I'm going to create a Google business page, and then I'm gonna get into Google's Places, set that up, and then I guess I have to wait for a postcard, right, for that to get verified. Okay.
If it exists already, we didn't cover this, and I don't want to confuse anyone. If for some reason somehow that's already been created, which is often, it'll come up when you begin to create the page. And if it pre-existed and the phone number is right, they'll do a phone verification and it's immediate.
Oh, okay.
So that's a possibility for yours.
Yeah, so they might have pulled something from, so I
Yellow
might already have a
Pages
business
or
page?
You may have a Google Places list.
Of Google Places, okay. And then the other thing I need to do is I need to create a Google Calendar. I don't use Google Calendar, I use Outlook. And I have a friend who uses Google Calendar.
We love
She
it.
just can't say enough about it.
I like
Because
it a lot
goes right
better.
from your, anything goes right, wireless, right to the.
Yeah. And if
Yeah.
I put something on my Google Calendar, it shows up on Susan's if we have linked our calendars,
Yeah.
which we have.
You can share
And it
calendars.
also shows up on our phones.
Yep.
Okay, so
That's
that is a
fantastic.
huge step that I need to do to get this whole thing.
Let's say that you had something, that calendar you wanted to be public, you can have more than one calendar in there too.
Oh, yeah. I have about 3 or 4.
And you can publish that calendar onto a web page.
Yes.
That I haven't done.
That's
Okay,
okay.
come on, now let's, don't
One step at
twist
a
my
time.
brain.
Okay.
Because here's the other thing that Dale said. Dale said, some people go away and they just automatically do it. I'm going to propose that some of that is the thinking style of the individual. Because for me, I am not techie, and so I sit here and then I have to go home, watch the video, figure it out, because my mind just doesn't work like this. Now, if this was all intuitive, I would just be in heaven.
See, it is intuitive to some people.
No, thank you. Not my interest.
To some people.
And what do I need? Oh, because the other thing I wanted to do is at least get a YouTube channel set up. But what I really need is I need to know more information about a reasonable price camera, microphone, and editing software.
Okay.
Because I'm
Do you have
debating
that-
as to whether to do an iPhone 5 as my camera. And then I get my upgraded phone, because I have a very old 3. And it's going to be about the same amount of money as a good camera.
Amazing video production
So,
from new Android.
I
and
need
Okay.
information about that, and if you could leave
Did you
me-
put that on your list?
I did.
Okay, good. Good. So we'll.
The other beneficial factor of having your phone be your video camera is you can upload it immediately.
See, that's,
Yeah.
Can you edit it right there?
Well, you can edit it on YouTube.
Oh, that's right.
So you've uploaded it to
Publish
YouTube.
it until
So you can
edit
just,
it.
when you get home to your desktop, go in and put images at the end of it, front of it, text, whatever you want to do, clip it. And what you can do is just upload it not public. So
Yeah.
you can
Right.
upload it as private, edit it, and then make it public.
And is the sound good enough on it? Or do you have to?
They're really pretty darn good, but I would still have a
I have
mic.
a mic.